Good morning. It's Tuesday, May 27th, 10 a.m. And this is Training Wheels, where we gather to just go over lessons of A Course in Miracles, the daily lessons. And we are today on lesson 34. I could see peace instead of this. And what an appropriate lesson for me this morning. What I usually do in these lessons, which come courtesy of an Open Door, which is a website and a gathering place that is hosted by Cindy Krupp. We've been doing this for over a year now, and it keeps getting better and better and bigger, and we are loving it. So that's what we're here. That's the website through which we are here this morning, and we are on. Do in these classes is not a class, it's a gathering and a discussion group. I go through and I read all the lessons up to lesson 34, which really sets the tone. It's something that Cindy sort of taught us to do as a way of moving into the space of the lesson, but also on building on the thought system that the lessons in A Course in Miracles really offer, which is an alternative to the ego's thought system. So let's dive in. I encourage you to keep your video on or off. What I'm going to do is read through the lessons until we get to the lesson that we're going to review today. Then I'll read from the text of Training Wheels, and then we'll start our discussion. So I'm going to turn my video off because it's easier for me to just be present with everyone if I'm not looking. Glad to have you all here. Just get comfortable in your seat and take a moment to let go of whatever this busy morning has already brought to your doorstep. Just be in this moment now as William calls to remind us all the time, there's only now and now and now and now. Whatever is brought to us now is perfect. It's all for us. And with that in our hearts and minds, let's begin. Nothing I see means anything. I have given everything I see all the meaning it has for me. I do not understand anything I see. I am never upset for the reasons I think. I am upset because I see something that is not there. I see only the past. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I see nothing as it is now. My thoughts do not mean anything. My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. I am upset because I see a meaningless world. A meaningless world engenders fear. God did not create a meaningless world. My thoughts are images I have made. I have no neutral thoughts. I see no neutral things. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. I am determined to see. I am determined to see things differently. What I see is a form of vengeance. I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. I do not perceive my own best interests. I do not know what anything is for. My attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. Above all else, I want to see. Above all else, I want to see things differently. God is in everything I see. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. I am not a victim of the world I see. I have invented the world I see. There is another way of looking at the world. I could see peace instead of this. I could see peace instead of this. At some point, all of us reach a place where we have had enough. We have gone as far as we can with a job, a relationship, a living situation, an illness, or a belief system. It doesn't matter what the specific issue is. We just know that what we have been doing with it isn't working anymore. This is called suffering. It may seem ironic or unfair, but suffering is one of the best forms of spiritual teaching. For many, it is their only spiritual teacher. We avoid, we substitute, we divert, and finally, the suffering becomes inescapable and unbearable. It forces us into our mind and will not leave without being recognized. It is often at this point we say to ourselves, there must be another way. And when we do say that, something opens up. Suffering is mental. It may be felt in the body, but even bodily suffering is almost always largely in the mind. In its most fundamental form, suffering is simply resistance to what is. We resist and resist and resist, often unconsciously, until we wear ourselves out. And then we, quote unquote, give in. And a sense of peace often follows. We recognize the futility of arguing with what is, we allow it to be, and immediately a burden is lifted. But often, this can take years. Often, this can take lifetimes. Being unfamiliar with our own minds, most of us don't even recognize our resistance. We go along with a chronic sense of unease and discomfort until the energy of our disquiet builds to a point that we cannot ignore it. It's only then, at this point, that we find a way to release the energy, either by lashing out, by getting physically ill, or by manifesting a situation that allows us to justify our anger or our reaction. And then the cycle starts again. Peace of mind requires consciously allowing the present moment to be as it is. What is your present moment right now? Are you in your present moment right now? Please don't confuse this with passivity. It's an active choice. It can involve hard work, searching, and radical acceptance. It really isn't for the weak of heart. Today's lesson, I could see peace instead of this, is for those who have had enough of suffering as their spiritual teacher and who are ready for a change. Today's practice asks for 15 minutes of your time. Today's practice is composed of 3 5-minute sessions or meditations. Try to do one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and just before bedtime. But you could do it anytime, anywhere, or any place. These practices will improve your mental state. That's a guarantee. Take your seat and close your eyes. Just relax the body and place your awareness gently on the breath. You can do this now if you want. When you feel ready, begin to watch whatever arises in your mind. It could be a thought, a bodily sensation, a sound, a smell, a feeling. It could be nothingness. Just place your awareness on where you are now, what is arising in the mind now. Pay attention to any fearful thought, any anxious thought, any even slight discomfort. What appears may seem unexceptional. Any thought that's not peaceful is fair game. As each thought emerges into your awareness, just notice it. And note also the feeling that arises in your body. And slowly say in your mind, I could see peace instead of this. Stay with your breath. Stay with your breath. See what arises. I could see peace instead of this. If you can't think of any fearful or unloving thought or situation, and that sentence isn't even correct, you're not thinking, it just arises. So if nothing arises, just say, I could see peace instead of this, and then move on. Try to do this 3 times a day for 5 minutes, or as long as you want. And during the day, if something arises that interrupts your peace or interrupts your thoughts, just repeat the lesson to yourself. I could see peace instead of this. It's very simple. That's all that's asked of you. This is the beginning of real change. The world that you see, the world that you perceive, can add nothing to Source or to your oneness with Source. But your belief in its reality can blind you. You cannot perceive this world as reality and know Source as real, because only Source is real. The choice of what is truth is not yours to make. I'm going to read that again. That's from Elizabeth Cronkite, The Message of A Course in Miracles. I'll read it one more time. The world that you perceive can add nothing to Source or to your oneness with it. But your belief in its reality can blind you. You cannot perceive this world as reality and know Source as real, because only Source is real. The choice of what is truth is not yours to make. Come on back and let's talk about this lesson. Anyone who's been watching the Keith Kavanaugh video, which is, I think, for next week, will really understand how non-dual the Course in Miracles is. I could see peace in that instead of this. William, come to the head of the table. Thank you for raising your hand.
I just feel so full of not the words, but the essence of what I felt as you were reading all these words. And what's coming to me is I really don't care what the words say, or I don't care what to do. I just had such a strong feeling last night that really all the different positions of now that I assume, make up, believe, look, what, they're just, they're distractions from now. Now, even the word awareness, I just want to almost ignore all that and just be where there are no words, there are no thoughts, even silence. The moment I've said it is too much. There's something about, wow, I've been playing around with the moment of now with thousands and millions of different words, feelings, doings. And recently I've been looking at happiness versus not happy, whether it's money, whether it's control, whether no matter what it is. It does feel like freedom. Just free, free, free in the silence, in the formless, no words, no words, just being, being, being. So that's really, I don't care what all those words are saying. I don't have to pay attention to them. I just feel and be in the now. And that's so simple, so simple. Just now, even now. Thank you. And thanks for all those things you said. Because in the moment, I don't need any of them. But there's no I either. So, just one. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, William. Cindy.
Mostly, clicking a button and I'm not getting the response I expected. So much for expectations. Most importantly, thank you. In what can be described as a peaceful, easy feeling.
Mm.
And and there was a 4-word sentence as part of the what is a body that we were talking about yesterday, and I've been walking around with it, and so I wanted to say it out loud here as I sit in remembering that Sandra promises that the course is true. And the sentence is, fear does not exist. And it's an interesting thing for me that the course can have so many words, as William talks about. And Dove taught me a long time ago that when the course uses a really short sentence like that, it's designed to make you pay attention. And I've been really looking at that. You know, I could choose peace instead of this. Well, if I'm not choosing peace, doesn't it mean that there's some level of fear? Defense, which is also fear. But the thing is, the course has that one line sentence. And if it's not true, then none of the course is true, right? If this one sentence is not true, then none of the course is true. And we're all just wasting our time. Like we might as well, you know, eat bonbons and spend a lot of time with Netflix. Fear does not exist. Period. So I just wanted to add that to this discussion. William has got his
I
hand up.
I gotta say this. That's perfect. Because I heard you yesterday, heard you twice. And I thought the first time, and I wrote it down, I didn't understand it. I thought I heard you say, here does, no, wait a minute. Here does not exist. If that's what my mind hears. Perfect. And then I heard you also say, fear. Well, that sums up kind of a lot of my life. Here does not exist. It's all the story about that's so important, all the perks, the suffering, the ups and downs. And then, wait a minute, fear does not exist. So simple. Which eyes am I looking through? So thank you.
Rana, thank you for being here.
Yeah, good
Good
morning.
morning,
That was my
everybody.
cue. That was my cue right there,
Yep.
William. Uh, First of all, that was a beautiful chapter. I've put a little mark in there that says meditation. And I want your permission to share that with other people, if I may, in a meditative setting. It's a really great, just couple of, paragraphs that really help me to sink into peace.
Thank you.
And the reminder, of course, that suffering is resistance to the moment and that it's all mental. And it all comes back to, where am I seeing from? Thank you, William. Am I seeing the story, the players, the drama? And am I caught up in trying to figure that out and come up with a solution to it? And what's my next move? And what am I going to say or not say next? So there's a sense of, this little me is somehow being attacked and needs to defend myself. So there's the clue I'm seeing as the small self. So if, in that moment, I can be willing, as you were running through the lessons, above all else, I want to see differently, and then moving into, I could choose peace instead of this.
Yeah.
I'm doing it to myself right now. So I came across a quote that I've been looking for a couple of weeks because we keep talking about this. This is, I'm going to read it to you. This is Rupert Spira's definition of illusion. Illusion doesn't mean that it's not real, small r. It only means it's not what I think it is. And so that points to this seeing as a small self, and like inherently in the small self seeing, there's no love there. There's no thinking things are going to turn out well or any of that, because one of the situations that came up as Amy was bringing us through that was, camp is in 2 weeks. And you guys have been through it. If you haven't with me, Kylie gets to go to Johnny and Friends camp, and it's 5 days, and the little Rana doesn't want to do it, and blah, 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 there's resistance. And that's what was coming up. And I was able in that moment to see the fear. Thank you, Cindy. It's just fear. I've been there like twice already. I know pretty much what to expect. So in sitting with that, right, and being open to, I could see peace instead of this, I heard, I sit with peace. And then I heard, don't you remember the spiritual explosions you've had each time you've gone? And it's just so beautiful, right? Because the little me, limited me forgets, I've had some great experiences there. Like that's where I got the CeCe Winans tune, the goodness of God was there. So I don't know what's good for me. I just don't, but when I am willing to see peace, drop the resistance, surrender, ask for a different way to see it, it's amazing what comes through. It's like, I don't have to be afraid about going to camp. That's ridiculous. So thank you for that opportunity. And I'm sure it'll come up again over the next 2 weeks. I'm not kidding myself, but that way, now that I've said it all in detail, I can just say to you guys, oh, at the camp issues here again. Here's what's coming up today. So I appreciate this gathering so much. Thank you, Amy, and everyone.
Oh, thank you, Rana. Thank you for reminding us just then that we can see peace, but then we don't see it. We can see it, and then we don't see it. So that's what the forgiveness is really all about, is, oh, went down the rabbit hole again. Oh, went down the rabbit hole again. So thank you for reminding us of that. Patricia, what you got for us this morning?
Good morning, all. something that also that Rupert talks about is when things come up, just say it effortlessly. And that word in itself, effortlessly. Oh, it doesn't take a lot of effort. Oh my God, I'm thinking this. It just means, oh, look. So I thought that that was, I wanted to share that with you. Um, Also, it's like when I get into fear, and I'm in fear a lot of the time, is just to go, oh, here it is again. I don't know. And that I don't know for some reason just opens me up, and there's a lot of space. I don't know. And then I'm able to come back just to the breath, period. Not a lot of words. Sorry, I don't have words to express it.
Rana says, wow, Patricia effortlessly gave me a body chill. That's lovely. Oh, that's good. Well, I went down the rabbit hole this week. We were out to dinner. I'll say this, and then I think Sandra was going for the unmute button. So we're all becoming so adept at noticing when somebody goes to do that. Anyway, I was out to dinner and someone asked me a question. I haven't seen her for a while. She asked me a question about something I had done. And as soon as I began to respond, it was about Italy, going to Italy, and she's Italian. And so I kind of got maybe one sentence out, but then she started telling the table about what she knew about Italy. And I realized this person didn't really want to hear about what she'd asked me about. She actually really wanted to share her own thing. So I felt myself go, wow, she doesn't really want to hear what I have to say. That hurts my feelings. I was kind of, and then, why bother? And went through all of that. And then realized that the same person is on this diet, this fasting cleansing diet that she was on the last time I saw her, which was at Thanksgiving when I had made a huge Thanksgiving meal for people. And I didn't know she was on this cleansing diet, so I had counted her in as a portion when I was buying all the meat, which I spent like $100 on buying a thing. Anyway, so she's on the same cleansing diet. So she has a 5-minute conversation with the waitress in this really noisy restaurant about how she can't have this and she can't have that, and whatever she does have to be cooked without any oil, without any this, without any that. And I sat there and I just kind of went, how unfair, how self-centered this person is. Anyway, because I have spent so much time with all of you and I know I could see peace instead of this, I just kind of went, well, this is what's coming up, And I will admit I got left with a layer of kind of what I could only call sadness, but it was because of these lessons and my spending time with all of you that I just kind of went, well, that's just what's coming up. And so we do these lessons over and over and over and over again, as Rana said, it isn't just that we realize the now moment holds everything. And it does hold everything. But then we slip out of the now moment because our partner calls us, or the phone rings, or our eye alights on something else that pulls us in. And that's okay. It's all okay because God is there too. Everything is everywhere. and that's okay as well. Sandra, what have you got for us today? Is it raining where you are too? Nope. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you for this morning, and thank you for writing this book. It's so nice to read the words and hear the words you speak. I can't explain that any further, but it's just nice. I rest in that. I love it. And I keep thinking about, as you were reading, in the middle of the meditation, my phone dinged. I keep meaning to turn that dinger thing off. And I looked down and I saw a message from my daughter, but I did not read it. I pushed the phone away and went back. And it was so easy to go back with the sound of your voice to peace. And I just, yesterday we were listening to the guides, and the words from the guides keep reverberating in my mind, like reconciliation, reclamation, re-knowing. And then Rana said, the illusion isn't that it isn't there, it's just not what we think it is, or something like that. And that like fit perfectly with those words from yesterday. Everything is made new. It's not that it isn't there, it's made new. I see it differently. I have a different source of seeing. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. It's just, and then it could be peace, but it doesn't even just have to be peace. It could be many things. It's new, it's different, it's fresh. It's like approaching each moment without all the baggage, without the history, without the knowing what the camp was like or would be like. I don't know. It's all fresh. It's all new. It's qualitatively different than I thought it was, in a good way. And I have the incredible privilege of experiencing this. That's another layer that's so joyful. And I get to do it with you individually and collectively, because the yous in this picture have these unique flavors and aromas that are so beautiful, and yet all together it's also quite beautiful. And so everything is made new, yes. And there is that, what you said in here, that point at which I choose. And sometimes, mysteriously, I actually choose not to see the piece. I go right into the story and I experience it. It's not always a conscious choice, but sometimes it is. Sometimes I know I'm going there and I go right there anyway. And I don't mind that anymore. I don't mind that I do that. I just relish that as well. So I'm incredibly grateful. That's what I feel right now in this moment, along with the love I feel for you and all of you. It's just that I get to have this experience with you. And you said it's the beginning of real change when we do this, Amy. Yes. And we get to really viscerally experienced that through all these examples we give. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. I thank you for your words, and this community is such a love fest. And I don't mean, when I say that, I don't mean to put quotes around it, because that is what it is. It is so centering, and your words grateful are just resonate with me this morning. I am so grateful that I have this community to come to, and that I have A Course in Miracles and the non-dual teachings to come to, because without them, it doesn't really matter. I say without them, I don't know where I'd be, and that is an irrelevant statement. I would be just exactly where I am. But this world, as Paul Selig and the guides tells us, this world is in transition. And we have been given the blessing of each other and the teachings. And gratitude is the only response I can think of. Just really heartfelt gratitude for it. So thank you for saying your words, Sandra. Really appreciate that. Patricia, good morning again.
Good morning again. I want to just concur with you and say thank goodness for this community. And we have to thank Cindy for that. So thank you, Cindy, for creating this so that we all could all come together. And I'd like to share an experience I had yesterday. I had a brain MRI yesterday. Make sure that all the neurons are working properly. And I had an amazing experience. You know, it went on for 45 minutes and the noise is remarkable. But I got into the noise, accepting what is. I kept saying, just accept what is. There was a tango that came up. It was lovely. There was this that came up. It was lovely. Tap dancing. It was like all of these images. And I'd come back to the breath and I would think about, I thought about all of us. And when it was over and I had all these images of things I wanted to create, and when it was all over, I was disappointed. I wanted to stay there. I mean, come on. This is really ridiculous, I thought to myself. Because I was in the moment, there was no choice. I mean, I could have gotten out, but then I'd have to go back again. It was not a possibility. And how what I've learned here and how I could apply it. So I thank you. And my MRI went wonderfully, and I thank you all.
Mhm. Let us know when you get the results, okay? When do you expect the results?
My dear, it's Mexico. Who knows?
No sé.
Mañana, mañana.
Mañana, mañana. Got it. All right. Thank you, Patricia. Cindy.
There are two an open door type related things that are up, and I didn't want to forget to say them. Number one, yesterday's experience with the guide was so powerful in a group. This particular recording, Amy wasn't there and Richard wasn't there. Patricia, I don't think was there. I just want, Amy, I'm looking at you specifically. If there's an hour that we're both free, I want to offer to play that particular recording again.
Okay.
Because there was a lot of group stuff that happened, where you word for each other, and I just want to offer that experience for you and whoever else might want to do it again.
Can we do it tomorrow after coffee?
No, I teach at noon, and then
Okay.
Lisa, but tomorrow I can do it tomorrow evening. I could do it after 5:30, or I could do it at like 3.
Tomorrow at
Nope.
3?
I could do it tomorrow at 3. Lisa's call goes from 1 to 2:30, so I could do it after I could do it at 3 tomorrow because I'm free from 3 to 4:30.
You sure that's not too much for you?
I
You
I
want to
play
think about
ad.
it?
No. If Rana just went like that, like Rana wants to do it
Okay.
again, and most of the people that I know, and Patricia wasn't there. I don't know if Richard could do tomorrow at 3 or not, but Livy can do it tomorrow at 3, and so I'm not gonna send out emails, but tomorrow at 3 we'll do the same one we did yesterday. The other businessy thing, and it's come up in my space before, but I want to say it out loud with this group. If I go ahead and do the work to pull out maybe 5 or 6 of Amy's meditations, the beginning of these classes, and set them up on YouTube, would this group be willing to help us get it out to other people? I mean, it's for us too, but
Yeah.
there's a realization that I don't want anything about Cindy to limit the experience. And these meditations, I don't listen to too many voices in meditation, by the way. There aren't too many experiences that I have that bring me into the space like what Amy does at the beginning of these classes. And I'm just wondering if I did the work to take those 10 to 15 minutes and create individual recordings and throw them up on YouTube with some sort of image and a link back to an open door, would you share them with your friends? I guess is what I'm saying. All right,
Sure.
that's what I have. And I know Amy's saying yes to it, but she let me know if she has a
Absolutely.
problem with that. But I just think there are A Course in Miracles, and there are beautiful meditation, and there's a desire to get them out into the world. All right, that's what I got. Those 2 things. Wednesday at 3.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you so much for giving us your time. I mean, you're spending hours in front of the computer, and so I'm really grateful for that. I need to listen to the guides and always benefit from that. And I also love being with all of us. So let's do it. Yeah. Hmm. Well, I can always call on people, but this is a time when anyone that wants to can share, can share.
Oh, well, then I'm gonna call on Richard because he wasn't around yesterday either, and I miss his voice. So there.
You just usurped my calling on him.
Hi, everybody. Love you all. Great share. Great lesson. I all I had to add is when I found the course, I had already decided my goal in life was to be at peace. So when I found this lesson, I found the course. The course says the goal of the course is peace of mind. So when I found this particular lesson, I went, well, this makes it easy. Anytime I'm not at peace, I can just choose again and be at peace immediately. And I've been doing that for a number of years now, and it works. So you just have to be willing to let the other stuff go and be in that present moment and say, I choose peace instead of this. So love you all. And I will see you tomorrow at 3 your time.
Oh, all right. I'm going to ask, I don't, I'm going to call people out, but it doesn't mean that you have to say anything. You can just say no. So I'm just going to go from top to bottom and ask Julie if she has anything. Is this your first time with us on Tuesday mornings? All right. Well, it's good to have you here, Julie.
You have to unmute. There. Okay. Yes, it is. And I really enjoyed it. And it was very calming listening to your voice. So I agree with what Cindy had to say. Um, it just really, I don't know how to put it in words, but this has just been a very eye-opening experience for me to deal with life. And next week, I travel Saturday to go back to my hometown to take care of my granddaughter, where my son and his wife take a little mini vacation, and this is their first trip without, without the baby. And so this is really going to help me, because that fear, like, okay, you got to do it really good. Don't let anything happen to her, and that. But so I thought about this take. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so perfect for me to just enjoy the moment and use peace instead of this, and just enjoy the now, being with my granddaughter and the joy. And so, thank you.
Yeah. Have fun. Grandkids are we love them, and they're exhausting. So
Yes, yeah.
good for you for doing that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. All right, now the next person down for me is Alka. So I just want to open up, and Alka, you don't have to say anything, but welcome.
Never give me a choice not to say anything. Because a lot of things came up when everybody was talking, but one I still remember is I was reading this Jean Klein's I Am, and he was talking about how you should follow your spiritual longing like you follow a stream. So you would never try and change the course of the stream. You just follow it to the source. And he said that's what you have to do with your longing for spiritual awakening or whatever. Just follow it tenaciously. And that really rang a bell with me. So that's my contribution. And thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you for that. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. That encourages me to do more self-inquiry about some things, Alka. So I really appreciate that. I need to follow some things I need to follow the stream to the headwater. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Livy, you're next. You're next, and then Bubbles.
I love that. Livy's and Bubbles. You don't hear that statement too often.
You're a little muted. Change your speaker or whatever.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. No, I mean, it's not every day you hear Livy and then Bubbles. So, that was pretty cool. Greetings from my kitchen. And I just want to express my gratitude. I love this particular lesson, and it's just a good reminder. And I want everything she does to provide us a wonderful place to come and just be. And so thank you so much for that, Cindy. And I look forward to being with y'all again later. Thank you, Amy.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, Livy. I don't know if Bubbles is in the picture or not, but she looks awful good being hung there between her men.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Amy, for this. I actually had I'm still having some technical difficulties, so I lost you guys and then boomeranged back. But I did hear. I've been here for most of the meeting, and I have to tell you, Amy, that your story about your friend. I so appreciate everybody's authenticity and shares. And when you described her ordering for 5 minutes, it made me think of When Harry Met Sally. Have you ever seen that movie? Where's Sally? Anyway, okay. I did hear when you were sharing before I got cut off, you spoke about this beautiful lesson, and you had mentioned it not being certain practices not being for the faint of heart. And I thought, you know, I think all of us on this busy, dense planet are not not none of us is faint of heart. I mean, I just feel like I have to share that because I look around me and I am so touched by by the strength of spirit in my fellow journeyers, and I can't really, as you have shared, Amy, I can't really speak this way with a lot of my peeps, but with you all I can. And I know we talk about having like prior agreements prior to coming into this form, and I feel like we're also just so darn brave. So especially this group, because we're really taking it to a whole new place. That's what I have to say. I love you all. So thank you for
Love you too. Love you too. And thank you for reminding us that that sounds like something that Christian would say. You know, we are all immensely courageous for being here in these bodies and taking on this journey. And we don't give ourselves credit for that enough. You know, we denigrate ourselves so much. We have 3 minutes left, and I want to give Barbie a chance to tell us how she's doing.
I'm doing great. When I woke up, and thank you for this group and thank you for this lesson and all the, what everybody said. Because I woke up this morning, felt totally different. I did my meditation, I did everything, and there were so many synchronicities that brought me to the spot to peace. And that's where I am today. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I love that. Oh, all right. All right. Well, we have 12 stepping in just about 1 hour. So I want to give everybody a chance to go and do what you need to do in the hour. And thank you again for being here. And we'll see you next week. Love us, love us, love us. Actually, we'll see you before next week.